Welcome to our interview with Dan and Paula from Elements for Life. Today they're celebrating 5 years in business as chocolatiers, and it's a product that I love. How did you actually get started in the business of chocolatiering, both of you?
I blame Paula.
Okay.
Basically, we were on a journey with health and nutrition.
Yeah.
I kind of got some ill health and everything, and I kind of needed to kind of get my nutrition sorted out in my body and really take care of myself. So that's how I got into it, basically. And we just loved raw chocolate. So it was about time to make our own. So.
Okay. All right. So you decided to start making your own chocolate kits. Where did the name Elements for Life come from?
Well, I did shiatsu before I got into chocolate, and that was the name of my business, Elements for Life, because we used to do the 5 elements and things like that. So it just fitted with shiatsu. And then, great, well, that name fits with chocolate as well, because, you know, obviously Elements for Life with all the minerals and vitamins and everything in the chocolate. I just thought, well, keep that. So that's how the name came about.
Yeah, so it's a natural fit.
Yeah.
For you. Yeah. So you didn't have to go and call it Paula and Dan's Chocolate Factory. You had Elements for Life, and that was the way you started. What's the first thing you made, and where did you make it?
Well, the first thing we made was our chocolate making kit. Well, version 1 of the chocolate making kit, which was, when I look back on it now, almost embarrassing.
Yeah.
But people seem to like it, and we sold loads before anyone had actually seen it. I was doing lots of business networking, breakfast meetings and things like that. And after we decided we were going to do the raw chocolate make the kit, I was still going to my meetings, standing up saying, "Hi, I'm Dan, I do IT." And then one day I stood up and went, "Hi, I'm Dan, I do raw chocolate." And I got everybody's attention.
Yes, the mere mention of chocolate anywhere gets people interested.
Yeah. So we were literally making stuff at home in the kitchen, and really it was like that for 3.5 years. I think we were work based from home, maybe a little bit longer, and it just was manic because you had the idea beginning of October.
Well, I was looking for a kit. I was looking for a kit myself to make chocolate, and I just couldn't find the right kit. It was just there was stuff missing in the box and everything, and I thought, well, why don't we just make a kit? So that's right. And then we sold the first batch before anyone had ever seen it.
Okay.
Well, that's a really good sign. If that ever happens in your business, just go for it. True.
And how were you selling it outside your friends and family? How did that come about to market it? What avenues did you go down?
Well, we had the first event we ever did was the Froome Chocolate Festival, and it was about 12 days after we launched. Yeah. And funny enough, it's coming up later on this month in November. Is the 6th Froome Chocolate Festival, which is our birthday party, because it's very kind of Jo. Very kindly, Jo and her team put on a birthday party each year for us. Yeah. So we did that. Started doing lots of other little events and markets, farmers markets, lots of things like that, and then just going around, speaking to sort of local health food shops, and managing to get a few of them to list it. And with my background in IT, in the 3 weeks we went from idea to launch, I built an e-commerce website as well. Built our website. So and just sold it anywhere and everywhere, any way we could.
So it's basically it's raw chocolate. Can you explain to us what raw chocolate is? Because it's not a term. I mean, most of us know Cadbury's and most of us know green and blacks, but what's raw chocolate?
Okay, well, there's two aspects to raw chocolate. The first is the chocolate, the cacao itself. Yeah. So conventionally, what happens is after the beans have been harvested, they're fermented, and then traditionally conventionally they will roast the beans. And then in the processing of extracting the butter and powder from the beans, that's normally done under really high temperatures and pressure. But with raw chocolate, our beans are never roasted, so it's never as bitter as a conventional chocolate. And then the processing to extract the butter and powder is done at a low temperature, sort of stone ground in small batches rather than on a big industrial scale. So that's the one side. You're not destroying nutrients with lots of high heat processes. But the second aspect to it is what you put into your chocolate when you're making something. And the key things here are we'll never use any dairy products, no refined sugars, so no refined cane sugar, which has got a high GI, so the peaks and troughs of energy that you get with that. And then no fillers, no packers, no additives, just natural ingredients. So yeah. Yeah,
they do taste delicious. Now, your next product, or one of your next products, was Yummy Scrummy. How did that come about?
Well, I love raw cakes, and basically I went on a few training courses and stuff. I'm just making cakes all day, and it was just lovely to kind of just eat cake all day, make cake, you know. So yeah, I kind of went away with. I came back with loads of ideas, and and so it kind of came from that, really, just experimenting and what I've been taught and everything, and sort of adapting recipes to kind of suit us, and so that's how it came back from doing training courses.
And is that one of your best selling products, or?
It's an all year round one for us.
Right, okay, yeah.
Like our chocolate kits are seasonal, and our hot chocolate seasonal. But Yummy Scrummys is all year round. So
yes, I enjoy eating them all year round too. Has to be said.
That's what I like to hear.
Right. Okay. Now we did agree a list of questions. So I'm just going to take a second and bring that up. My apologies for that. Now, getting people to know about your products outside. You start off doing marketing by going to visiting the Froome Chocolate Fair and local markets. How did you actually promote it further afield? Because you're now in a situation where you distribute it nationally, almost.
Well, absolutely. I had sort of like a main list of sort of targets for potential stockists, which are all sort of places that I can get to, and I do a delivery round to. So it was just going around and knocking on doors and trying to speak to people and giving out samples, and just doing that more and more. Then also just lots of online marketing as much as possible, building up our mailing list. So whenever I was at events, sort of getting people sort of added to our mailing list and sort of trying to keep them interested with sort of useful emails rather than just junk emails all the time, and letting people know where we're going to be. And the word just seemed to get out and go, and gradually people sort of got in touch with us, and there's a number of about 15 wholesalers, distributors for health foods in the country. So I'm gradually just working through the list of those, trying to get listings with those. We've got listings with 3 or 4 distributors so far, which is great. And that is helping our reach get further, obviously, because they can access all over the country and beyond.
We actually have no idea where we are now. We're all over the place, aren't we? I've seen it in Manchester, and it's like, oh, really?
Right, so you're travelling the whole length and breadth of the country without direct from the factory via social media and personal visits.
It's a really big part of what we do, and I think what's important for us as a business is the fact that it's not just some brand that people don't know anything about. So I'm always really keen to make sure that whenever I'm doing stuff on social media, it's the people and the faces that make up the business, make up Elements for Life, are involved in it. So there's often silly pictures of Paula or any members of the team in sort of like face masks and things
covered
like
in
this.
Chocolate.
Covered in chocolate. Because for me, I always engage more with a business or a brand when it isn't just a faceless brand and there's some personality there. And so I'm always do my best to make sure that that's the case with what we do as well. And it seems to work. We get a lot of people who just give us really nice comments and feedback on what we do on social media, and how we get the word out there, and just sort of saying that they appreciate the sort of the fun that actually that we sort of put into it. So yeah, it seems to get good feedback.
Yeah. Well, the feedback is priceless, isn't it? Because positive feedback encourages other people to buy.
Yeah, absolutely.
And that's something that you've got to work at.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. So there's time to be invested in social media, in Facebook and Twitter.
Yeah, I mean, I think at the moment, probably our main hub online is Facebook, our Facebook page. I'm familiar with the network. I'm used to it, and I know quite a lot of the more advanced things you can do on there. So, but yeah, sort of Twitter, Instagram, all of the Pinterest, all of these other networks, I kind of have a presence on. And gradually working to sort of just make them sort of a bit more coherent, so that you get the same sorts of things appearing all of them, and a bit more consistent. Because some of the other networks I can be a bit slack at posting to, shall we say?
Yes, yeah, true. I mean, you've got to work out where the best place is, and as you say, Facebook, and you run a lot of competitions, don't you? To promote the products and to get people interested in the product.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, yeah, I think probably every 2 months, every 3 months at the outside, we'll be running a competition of some sort, and it could just be a tiny little competition that almost as like came up out of nowhere. For example, there was a picture of Paula and Katie dressed up in face masks and hair nets, and
I remember that one.
Yeah, and it was just spur of the moment. Let's do a caption competition, and then there are other things like the competition that I've just launched today, celebrating our 5th birthday, which has had a lot more sort of time and effort and actually thought gone into what it is. And the contrast is that those smaller competitions can be just for a couple of bars of Yummy Scrummy, whereas this one, the top prize is a hamper worth over £100.
And so
right. Okay, yeah.
The picture that we've just done as well is amazing. It's one of our old staff who's gone back to Chile, and he's just such an amazing artist. So yeah, check it out.
So it's a team effort then. So it's yourself and the staff, and everybody's involved.
Absolutely.
I mean, visiting the factory, which Angelica and I did last year, you get the feeling of a family concern where everybody wants the best product to go out the door, and your quality control is very good, very high, and the product that goes out is product that you're proud of. That comes across.
Absolutely. We won't do anything that we're not completely passionate about, we don't totally believe in, and it's and whether that's, we won't go to some outlets like supermarkets, we won't get listed in a supermarket because it doesn't fit with our ethos, to the actual products, that they've got to be something that we love to eat and enjoy ourselves. And then it just makes it so much easier when talking to people, that actually, because that passion and enthusiasm comes across.
Yeah, indeed. Now, when you started 5 years ago, as you said, you were working in the kitchen together, and you were making the chocolate making kits. Then 18 months ago, you moved.
Yes.
What happened there?
Well,
what didn't happen?
It was quite a stressful time, wasn't it?
Yeah, I mean, basically, we were umming and ahhing about whether or not to get premises and when that might be, and all these sorts of things. And then a friend of ours works on a unit on the farm where we are, and mentioned that there was a unit coming up at some point in the next couple of months. We thought, oh well, let's have a look. It's not really the right time, but let's have a look.
But we're not going to get it.
But we're not going to have a look just to get a feel for it. And it's one of those moments, like Ben the farmer, he opened the roller shutter door, and I just stood in the doorway, and I just knew that I could do something with this place. And I just stood in this doorway looking at this scene of devastation, of bits of car and engine and oil everywhere.
Right. Okay.
It was just a dilapidated barn, and just thinking, I think this could work.
Right.
And so, yes, we then spent 6 months converting the building into what we needed. And literally my blood, sweat and tears went into that building. 6 months of just spending all my time there, except for when I was having to do stuff, making chocolate and selling stuff, because we were still at home. And this 6 month period of building took place over our busiest period of the year, over the winter Christmas period. These things always seem to work that way.
I had a couple of meltdowns because we were like piled up with chocolate in our house.
Yeah.
At the unit building it. And I remember him having to counsel me through all these pile of orders that I had. Yeah, it was a really tough time, but it was all worth it.
Yeah. And then, after 6 months of converting the building, and even just that process, the right people at the right time. And when we needed someone who was going to do the chipping work to create the rooms, he was there at the right time, and the plasterers and the electricians, everybody just appeared almost.
It was funny.
Okay.
Dan was going, I'm going to go and do the electrics, and I was like, you sure you know what you're doing? And then a friend of ours who's an electrician turned up, and I was like, phew.
But it's the way, the magic of what we do, definitely come across.
And it's been lovely as well. We've got so much stuff off of Free Cycle. So, all our fridges, doors, and it's just been amazing. So we tried to do it as cheap as possible.
Yeah. So and then 6 months, and then we moved in March last year, which, looking back on it now, I don't know how we coped for that last year at home, but we did. And then moving into the premises has just transformed what we do. It's kind of the same, but hugely different. It's sort of, I think, lots of subtle differences which mount up to make it into a really sort of big change in how we do things.
A dishwasher is a really good one as well.
Right.
So we've got a couple of, built up our staff team, got a couple of part-time staff who are brilliant, really sort of, they turn their hands to everything that is needed of them. We're just building up, and now got in with some distributors, and just really sort of working at it, really.
So from manufacturing kits in your kitchen 5 years ago, you're now today, this very day, celebrating 5 years of Elements for Life. How does that feel? What do you envisage being where you are today when you first started?
No.
I walked in home one day. Paula said we should make a kit. I said yes, and 5 years later, no, I didn't envisage this at all.
It's great though.
But love it. Absolutely love it. Have great fun. Really enjoy what we do.
We've got a wall between us at work, which is probably a good thing.
You have your room, I have my room.
Right. Okay, understood.
I still kind of have to pinch myself sometimes to think, oh my God, what have we created? But really enjoy it. Never look back.
Right. And you've managed to meet a lot of your customers and keep in contact with them. You've got the monthly email which goes out. You're in the competitions, so you actually still got the personal touch that you had all that 5 years ago.
Absolutely,
it's important to you. Both.
Yeah, absolutely. I even 10, 15 years from now, when it's a completely different beast to what it is now, I'm still passionate that personal touch has got to come through in everything we do. Absolutely. So, but keep entertained.
That's brilliant. So have you any special things going on in the next couple of days for your customers? Have you planned anything?
But the main thing is the competition that we've launched. I think that's pretty much our biggest competition to date. So just really going to be sort of getting the word out about that to as many people as possible. And I'm sure if people keep an eye on our Facebook page or make sure they sign up to the Raw Chocolate Lover Club. On their inbox, I'm sure other surprises will come along during this month. Put it that way.
Okay, understood. So you've got the Facebook page for Elements for Life, and you've got the Chocolate Lovers group on Facebook, which people are welcome to join.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, that was just a group I set up good few years ago now, just for people just to share raw chocolate stories and recipes and all sorts of things. And then that's kind of evolved along with our email newsletter, and there's now this thing called the Raw Chocolate Lover Club, which is just a free club that people can join. They get exclusive discounts,
right? Okay,
and special offers, and they get to hear about things before other people do. So yeah, it's just about trying to really keep people entertained and informed about what we're doing, and give people information about some of the health benefits of raw chocolate, and just keep people entertained, really.
Wonderful. Shall we open it up and see if anybody wants to join us and ask questions?
Yeah, absolutely.
Because the video we get at the end, we can edit, so we're fully protected on that score. So I'm going to open the seat up. If you have a question for Dan and Paula about chocolate, would you please click the call-in button now, and we'd like to hear from you. If you don't want to appear on screen, we can quite understand that. If you've got a question you want to ask, some people are camera shy. I mean, it is very difficult.
And I'm just going to eat some chocolate.
Yeah, we'll just.
Right. Okay. Okay. In fact, if you could show us the product range, that would be pretty good. From the. No, it's okay.
There is one snag there. We're at home and everything's at work.
Right. Okay. Right. We're going to be joined now by Skip, who's a friend from Empire Avenue, and we did our first live blab yesterday together about Empire Avenue. So we'll let Skip in to join us. And
hello, Skip.
He should be with us in a moment. Skip's in Carolina, I think. Yeah. So the magic of Blab, we're going to connect the two continents of Europe and America, and Skip should be joining us.
Any minute now.
Any minute now, yeah. I mean, there's obviously you've got the UK market. Have you any plans at the moment to export?
Well, funnily enough, it could be Germany might be our first place that we start exporting. Which is there's a food subscription box service in Germany called Foodist. We're in talks with them at the moment about having Yummy Scrummy in one of their boxes, and then also using that as a springboard to launch into Germany. But yeah, we want to. There's plenty of places around the world that we can get our chocolate mitts into.
Brilliant. Welcome, Skip. Do you have a question for Dan and Paula?
Thank you. And it's Illinois, and it's Empire Cred, not Empire Avenue.
I stand corrected, sir.
I don't know. We may have to start a penalty box for you pretty soon, Stephen.
Yeah, I know. I'll get used to it one day. Right.
Yeah, it's like a box of chocolate for every time.
All right. Okay. Do you have any questions?
So I guess the magic question I do. Actually, I've got a couple. Do we have a calorie-free chocolate yet?
That's don't talk to me about calories. Calories aren't bad. Calories are essential, and what's more important, probably equally important, but certainly equally important, but probably more important, is actually the nutrients that are in a product when you're having it. So you can have something that's sort of virtually no calories, but it's got absolutely devoid of any nutrients anyway, so it's not going to do you any good. Whereas if you have something that is relatively high in calories, it can still be good for you because of the nutrient profile that the product has and the ingredients that are in it. So something that's made up of natural ingredients using proper fruits and nuts and raw cacao, rather than something that's supposedly calorie-free or low-calorie, but is got artificial sweeteners and all sorts of things like in there. So I don't think you're ever going to get calorie-free chocolate, put it that way, but it's about educating and re-educating people into realizing that calories aren't bad.
Good point. I like the way you answered that. And your next question, Skip.
Yeah, it had to do with when you see the chocolate, like the chocolate bars that are advertised with, I don't know, chocolate with artificial sweeteners just seems almost sacrilegious. But is there any health benefit to all natural sugar or the chocolate with the artificial crap in there?
Sugars are a big beast, and they're a bit of a big catch-all because there are different types of sugars. So when you're talking about something that's more of a natural sugar, I think a lot of people think of that white stuff that you get in people put into your coffee as a natural sugar, and it kind of is very chemically produced, and it's not. That's made up of largely sucrose, which your body metabolizes in a certain way and converts it into fat. Whereas you get things like glucose and fructose, you get different types of sugars, and each one is metabolized by your body in a slightly different way. So if you're having something like what we use in our kits and use in a lot of our products is something called Sweet Freedom, which is made from apples, carob, and grapes. And I think I just got a little friend who's just sticking a nose in. There we go.
Hi.
There we go. Luna wanted her moment of fame. So something like Sweet Freedom, it's made from apples, carob, and grapes, but it's largely glucose, so your body metabolizes it into energy rather than into fat. And then the other advantage of something like Sweet Freedom is that the way your body metabolizes it, it doesn't give you that sudden surge of energy and then a drop of energy afterwards. You get a smoother energy release. So whereas something like the sucrose, a normal table sugar, you get those real peaks and troughs of energy absorption. So if you want to be really, really good about things, just try and eliminate sugar in whatever form. But if you're having it in a more natural form, so as in a piece of fruit, that's good because you've got all the fiber and all the different nutrients in there. Whereas actually, as soon as you start extracting things down, then you just need to be aware of what you're eating, really. Okay?
Okay, and then the last question is, sometimes I see chocolate bars and then I see chocolate cocoa bars. Is there really that much of a difference, or is it just how they're marketing it?
It probably just sounds more like the way it's been marketed. I mean, yeah, I'm not entirely sure. Because cocoa is basically, once the beans have been roasted, it stops being called cacao and it then becomes called cocoa, and it's cocoa butter, cocoa powder, cocoa nibs. But generally with raw chocolate, because the beans aren't roasted, you just keep the name cacao, and basically you swap the O's and the A's around, you go from cacao to cocoa.
Okay.
I think that takes care of my question. Thank you.
Thank you for joining us, Skip. Right. Okay. So, does anyone else like to join us? I don't think we can coax Angelica. I mean, I know she's watching us, but whether she'd like to join in the 5th birthday celebrations, I don't know. I'll not push it. I'm trying to actually get her on a Blab on her own. So I'll save my ammo for then. Right. Okay. Well, it's been a real pleasure in talking to you both. And I wish you every success for the next 5 years.
Thank you. Yeah.
Who knows what will be happening then?
Yeah.
That's true. But knowing the both of you, it'll be good. And it will involve chocolate.
I just hope I never got off the smell, because
well, you work in the factory, Paula. I mean, you it's part of your life now.
Yeah.
Chocolate. Yeah.
That's what I do. Out. And I still love the smell, but I don't even hardly smell it anymore. People come and go, "Oh, it smells amazing in here," and I'm like, "Does it?"
It does. When we came down for the day, we really didn't want to leave. I mean, you know,
a bed sofa in the office. You could have.
Oh, right, okay.
Don't tell him.
No, our secret's out now.
That's brilliant. Well, thank you, Stephen.
Thank you to both of you, and I'll see you both soon.
Yes, definitely.
Okay, thank you for everybody for watching. and we look forward to seeing you on other Blabs. I'm sure that Dan and I will get together with Paula as well and come together and do more Blabs, because we've done our first one. That's the hardest one.
Exactly.
And once you've done one, you can do more. So thank you everyone around the world for watching. This is Stephen signing out with
bye.
Bye.